있어. 내가 누군지 모르나 본데.
There was an uproar following the release of the first trailer for Parasyte The Grey, as fans were concerned that Netflix was getting a little woke with one of their fan-favorite animes. However, when the series dropped on the 5th of April, it completely changed the public narrative, especially because of that post-credit scene. That's why, in today's video, we'll talk about everything we know about the parasites that appear in the series and what happened to them by the end of the show. However, before we proceed further, remember that this video contains spoilers for the show. So, proceed with caution. But before we get started with this video, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, subscribe to us and like the video. It might be a simple click for you, but to us, it means a lot. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. Where did they come from? How do they infect their host? To be honest, the alien origins of the parasites are never really explained, and it remains a mystery even today. One day, green tennis ball-like objects started falling from the sky across the globe, and tiny translucent worms came out of them, changing the world as we know it. After landing on Earth and emerging from the green tennis ball-like object, the worm's first instinct is to take over a human brain. To achieve this, they stealthily enter the human body via their mouth, nose, or ears. However, in the live-action series, the parasites have shown a preference towards entering the human body through the auditory canal, making it easy for them to take over the human brain. Just as they enter a human body, they try to take over the brain by eating it away and replacing it with their own consciousness. This was evident from the full-body X-ray scans, which clearly show that once the parasite takes over someone, they don't have their brains anymore. Their skulls become completely hollow. However, this process of taking over a human body is only true for the first host they possess. When the parasites want to relocate from one body to another, they no longer have to enter the body through the usual means. They can just decapitate the desired host and attach themselves to their head, morphing themselves to the host's face, making them indistinguishable from other humans. This takeover process is possible because the parasite has already attained the nutrients it requires from the previous host's body, which sustains it for quite a while, even when the previous host is dead. Why do they have different heads? Throughout the series, we've seen multiple types of cranial transformations from the parasites possessing a human body. While the show doesn't delve into a detailed explanation for the diverse forms these transformations take, we interpret it as a consequence of their evolutionary drive for survival. Every action the parasites undertake in the series is geared towards self-preservation and sustenance. Since they are limited in number and can't really reproduce the way humans do, they've adapted themselves to transform their host's head into different types of weapons, which ensures safety from predators while securing sustenance. So, we can basically blame evolution for the arrival of parasites on Earth and their ability to create multiple weapons from their head, which has led to the massacre of human beings. Every type of head explained. From what we've seen in the series, after taking over a human's body, the parasite can transform the entire cranial structure of its human host, controlling its rigidity and power. This process allows them to weaponize their host's head, molding it into various lethal weapons for combat and defense. This ability of the parasite is possible because of their unique physiology, which allows even their smallest cells to think just like a human body, giving them extraordinary levels of control over the host's body. Throughout the series, we have seen three distinct types of cranial transformation. The first is the tentacle transformation, which allows the parasite to stab, ensnare, and immobilize their targets. However, the tentacle-headed parasite can also be further divided into two types, the bi-tentacle head and the tri-tentacle head. Although we don't know the reason behind the varying number of tentacles, we suspect it has something to do with their varying power levels. Secondly, we encountered the blade-headed parasites, whose razor-sharp blades are comparatively stronger than steel and are used for slashing and decapitating humans and other parasites. Just like tentacle heads, the blade-headed parasite also comes in three types: the single blade-headed parasite, the double blade-headed parasite, and the triple blade-headed parasite. We got our first look at a single-headed parasite in the second episode of the series during Kang Woo's solo mission to infiltrate the Sajin Church barn. Moreover, the series' main antagonist, the pastor parasite, was a double blade-headed parasite. However, apart from tentacle-headed and blade-headed parasites, there exists another form of parasite which can be better termed as a hybrid form, integrating both tentacles and blades into a single cranial structure. We saw this hybrid cranial formation in the very first episode when a parasite-infected human attacked other humans during the EDM festival. Later, we also saw this hybrid cranial formation in Kyung-hee, the sister of the former gangster Kang-woo. How many eyes do they have? After taking over a host and fully maturing, the parasite can develop their own structures like blades and tentacles. However, apart from that, they also develop eyes similar to humans, which allow them to see and interact with the external world. Throughout the series, we have even seen that there are 3 types of parasite when it comes to the number of eyes. The first, of course, is the single-eyed parasite. We encountered the single-eyed parasite when Kang-woo infiltrated the Seijin Church barn. The parasite that came to inspect the barn had only a single tentacle formed into a blade and a single eye to survey its surroundings. Another interesting fact is when the parasites extend their eyes to scout, their human body is rendered blind to nearby surroundings. This was evident from the incident when Kang-woo approached the parasite's host body, which failed to detect him while its tentacle was elsewhere. In addition to the single-eyed variation, there exists double-eyed and triple-eyed parasites. The first parasite from the EDM festival was a double-eyed variant with a hybrid head housing both tentacles and blades. That was one of the significant reasons he was able to massacre a large number of humans at the festival. Moreover, Kyung-hee, the sister of Kang-woo, was also a 3-eyed variant with a hybrid head physiology. Probably, that was one of the reasons she was also crazy strong. Although we aren't sure if there's any correlation between their physiology and power levels, we can definitely say that having 3 eyes instead of 1 or 2 does really come with some advantages. Can they make weapons with their heads? Once a parasite matures after entering a host, it gains the remarkable ability to morph its head and create various weapons, which can be used for both long-range and short-range attacks. Since the parasites can't reproduce to increase their population, these weapons ensure their safety while enabling them to hunt humans for food. Throughout the series, we have seen them transform their head into blades, which predominantly allows them to slash and dismember their prey, aka humans. Moreover, they have another amusing transformation up their sleeve in the form of a tentacle. These tentacles are primarily used to stab their enemies or prey from a long distance and ensnare them, ensuring their captivity. Apart from these lethal cranial transformations, the parasites are also blessed with unparalleled physical strength, which ensures the captivity of their prey, enabling them to survive. This was seen during the hallway fight scene when the parasites attacked the vehicle carrying Jiangsu in. During this particular fight scene, the parasites demonstrated indomitable strength, surpassing human capabilities. Can they fly? Well, surprisingly, the answer is yes. This ability is demonstrated in the second episode of the series, where the unnamed parasite who finds Jiangsu in chases Kang-woo after he evades being captured by the parasites. In pursuit of Kang-woo, the parasite elongates its head and transforms it into a makeshift glider, allowing it to fly through the air while surveying its surroundings. This ability is also demonstrated by the same parasite when Kang-woo's sister, Sol Jin-hee, discovers that her elder sister had transformed into a monster. When Jin-hee makes a run to escape the parasites, the flying parasite transforms his head into a glider and chases after her, ensuring her captivity. Throughout the series, we only saw one parasite demonstrate the ability to fly, whilst the others remained oblivious to this ability. This begs the question, why was only one parasite able to use flying abilities while the others couldn't? Well, we have a theory, and it might sound wild, but hear us out. We think the parasites evolve in accordance with the traits of their hosts. Thus, it's possible that the parasite evolved and adapted its flying abilities because of its host's previous history in aviation. Bullets can't damage but kill the host. Since parasites require a human body for their survival, they will automatically perish once their current human host is destroyed or killed. As explained by Choi Jun Kyun in the very first episode, there are 2 ways to end the parasite without causing many casualties. The first is to shoot the human body with multiple bullets, which results in rapid blood loss in the body, leading to the death of the parasite. However, it isn't clear how many bullets are required to kill off the parasite, and it's also not an efficient method because once hurt, the parasite will go on a rampage, causing even more damage. damage. Moreover, this method also requires large amounts of ammo and reload time while fighting the parasites. Thus, the best course of action is to destroy the heart of the human with one single shot. That's why the Grey Special Division, formed to combat the rising threat of the parasites, uses shotguns to fight them, as they are effective for long-range combat, staying away from the deadly tentacles of the parasites while dealing lethal damage to their body. Moreover, a strike to the heart with the help of a knife can also achieve the desired result. However, close-range combat is impossible against the parasites because their tentacles will always look to cut and slash the human that's attacking them. How far can they stretch their head? As of right now, the length to which a parasite can stretch their head remains undefined. However, from what we've seen so far, it can be concluded that they can definitely stretch their heads to incomprehensible lengths. We got our first glimpse into the stretching abilities of the parasites in the very first episode when the parasite starts massacring innocent people in the EDM festival. However, we realize the true extent of its power in the second episode of the series, when Kang Wu lands in the Seijin Church barn and discovers the lifeless bodies of humans. He's confronted by a parasite who stretches its head to search for the human infiltrator. The next instance of this superhuman ability was when the flying parasite effectively stretched its head into the form of a glider to chase after Kang Wu. However, the most effective use of this stretching ability was seen in the final episode of the series, when Kang Wu rescues the mayor from the pastor parasite and takes refuge in one of the rooms. The pastor parasite extends its head to the ceiling, effortlessly locating the hidden humans. This allowed him to effectively pinpoint the location of the humans without the need for any extensive search efforts. Are parasites like the Venom symbiote from Marvel Comics, or not? While the parasite's lore is completely different from that of the symbiotes from the Marvel Universe, there are many striking similarities between the two. First, they're both alien species that need to bond with a host for survival. Secondly, both of these species have one of their kind turning on their kin in favor of loyalty to their human hosts, aiding humanity in confrontations against their brethren. In the Marvel Universe, it was Venom who became a traitor to his kind, and in the Parasyte universe, it was Heidi who assisted humans in capturing parasites. Moreover, in the last episode of the series, Su-In was also offered a place in the Grey Special Division to assist in their continued battle against the parasites. The third striking similarity between a symbiote and a parasite is their remarkable ability to heal their host's body with their powers. We've seen Venom save Eddie's life countless times, and Heidi also does the same for Jiang Su-In after she is mortally wounded in the very first episode of the series. The fourth and most evident similarity between the two is their ability to morph their body into weapons and tentacles to protect their host and eradicate their enemies. However, apart from all of these striking similarities, there are also many notable differences between the two species. The first and the most obvious difference between a parasite and a symbiote is that, unlike Venom, a parasite does not have the ability to corrupt the mind of the human host. After a parasite takes over a human body, there's no mind to corrupt in the first place. However, in rare cases like Jiang Su-In, the parasite coexists within the host purely for survival, lacking the capacity to manipulate their personality. The second distinguishing factor between both of these species is that symbiotes can reproduce asexually. For example, Venom gives birth to other symbiotes like Carnage, Scream, and Riot. In comparison, parasites are incapable of reproducing themselves. So, to sum it up, the symbiotes and Parasyte do share a lot of resemblances, but their lore is completely different from each other. Venom resides in a superhero universe where there are various superheroes who can deal with it if needed. However, the Parasyte lives in a normal human civilization, which makes it far more lethal against the average human. The weapon to kill the parasite. Although humans think that the shotgun is the best way to kill a parasite, the real enemy of a parasite is its own kind. Their razor-sharp blades prove to be the most lethal weapon against fellow parasites. The Grey Special Division kept a parasite captive within their ranks and called it their hunting dog. This parasite was being exploited for its unique ability to detect its kin, allowing the Special Division to swiftly eradicate the parasite hideouts. Thus, for their survival, the parasites banded together under the leadership of Pastor Parasyte and engineered a special knife that replicated the deadly blade formations inherent to their kind. The knife was later entrusted to Kang Wang-seok with the mission of eliminating the hunting dog of the Grey Special Division. Later, when the Grey Division decided to ambush Jiang Su-In after following Kim Chul-min into the abandoned amusement park, Wang-seok found an opening and brutally murdered the hunting dog with the special knife, making others assume the work was done by other parasites. Marvelous verdict! To be honest, the first season of Parasyte The Grey doesn't really give much insight into the world of the Parasytes. However, we think that's going to change in the second season with the arrival of Shinichi Izumi in the post-credits scene. Yes, the same Shinichi Izumi from the anime Parasyte The Maxim. With his introduction to the live-action series, it can be concluded that the events of the anime and this live-action series are happening in the same universe. While the anime tells the story of the Parasyte invasion in Japan, the live-action series tells the story of the same parasite invasion in Korea. So, in the second season, we'll get to learn more about the parasites because Shinichi has been living with one for years, and his insight might prove invaluable in the continued battle against the parasites. To be honest, we're really excited about the possibility of a second season and can't wait to learn more about the Parasyte world. With that being said, if you're curious as well, we invite you to like our content and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest Parasyte happenings, but otherwise, I'm afraid that's all we've got for you today. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.